Good afternoon, everyone.
I am Mary Melody.
I am Arlene Murillo,
And
we are your presenters for Multiple Intelligences.
So sit back.
Relax and enjoy learning.
How smart are you? We are all smart in different ways. According to Rita Dunn, if a child is not learning the way you are teaching, then you must teach in the way the child learns. Today's ideas about education focus on individualized education and learner autonomy. Students are supposed to be responsible for their own learning and should be made aware of their strengths and weaknesses. Intelligence has traditionally been measured by using IQ tests, but those tests only measure one type of intelligence. Howard Gardner is an American developmental psychologist. He is a professor of education at Harvard University, and it was published in the book Frames of Mind, The Theory of Multiple Intelligences. In the book, he looks at intelligence from a wider perspective than had ever been done before. Gardner included the last two intelligences in Intelligence Reframed in 1999. But originally, he proposed first 7 multiple intelligences in 1983. Later in 1999, he added the naturalist intelligence, and in 2001, the existential intelligence, making it a total of 9 multiple intelligences. According to the proponent of this method, all human beings possess all 9 intelligences in varying amounts. Each person has a different intellectual composition. We can improve education by addressing the multiple intelligences of our students. These intelligences are located in different areas of the brain and can either work independently or together. These intelligences may define the human species. Drawing a picture, composing or listening to music, watching a performance, these activities can be a vital door to learning, as important as writing and mathematics.
Now let's have a look at the 9 multiple intelligences. First, musical intelligence, bodily kinesthetic, interpersonal, verbal linguistic, logical mathematical, naturalistic, interpersonal, visual spatial, and the last one that was added, existential intelligence. Now let us look multiple intelligences as a theory of language. Language is seen not as an added-on and peripheral skill, but as central to the whole life of the language learner and user. A multisensory view of language is required to build a theory of language, due to the context it provides for giving the message meaning and purpose. Learning in multiple intelligences. Here, students learn quickly when they use their special ability in language study and learning. Syllabus for multiple intelligences. These stages show the procedures used when teaching this method. Stage 1. Awaken the intelligence. By many extrasensory experiences, students discover the different properties of the objects and events of their environment. A broad variety of sensory input should create students who are ready for the following lesson. Stage 2. Amplify the intelligence. It can be strengthened by choosing and comparing the properties and context of experience of these events and objects have and provide. Students are supposed to tell, share, and bring their own experiences and objects into the class and discuss them. Stage 3. Teach with and for the intelligence. The intelligence is linked to some aspect of language learning via worksheets and small group work. This stage is the general traditional teaching phase with work done in group project worksheet, and amplified intelligence is used to solve the tasks and therefore enhance the learning. Stage 4. Transfer of the intelligence. Students reflect with what they learned in the previous stages and use them in the out-of-the-class world. Students reflect on their previous experiences and try to relate these tasks to other school or real-life problems. Dr. Gardner proposes 8 different types of intelligences, but as mentioned earlier, he added 1 to the list, which is the existential intelligence, making it 9 multiple intelligences. Now these are seen as personal tools each individual possesses to make sense out of new information and to store it in such a way that it can be easily retrieved when needed for use. Now let's take a look at the 9 types of intelligences. First, linguistic intelligence, explanation and understanding through the use of words. Visual intelligence, explanation and comprehension through the use of pictures, graphs, and maps. Body or kinesthetic intelligence, it's the ability to use the body to express ideas, accomplish tasks, and create moods. Interpersonal intelligence, it's the ability to get along with others, work with others to accomplish the tasks. Mathematical intelligence, use of logic and mathematical models to represent and work with ideas. Musical intelligence, ability to recognize and communicate using melody, rhythm, and harmony. Interpersonal intelligence, learning through self-knowledge, leading to understanding of motives, goals, strengths, and weaknesses. Environmental intelligence, ability to recognize elements of the natural world around us and learn from them. And existential intelligence, which is the ability to be able to have deep discussions about the meaning of life and human existence.
Under the design, we have the objectives of the method. First, apply intelligences knowledge to identify niches of learners. And second, modify one personal teaching strategy using the information found in the method. Role of the teacher. Teachers become curriculum developers, lesson designers and analysts, activity finders or inventors, and most critically, orchestrators of a rich array of multisensory activities within the realistic constraints of time, space, and resources of the classroom. Also, teacher pushes his or her students from behind rather than pulling them from in front. She works with learners rather than for them. Also, she explores what pupils explore, discover what they discover, and often learn what they learn. Teachers' satisfaction lies in learners' enthusiasm for learning and independence rather than in their test scores and ability to sit quietly. To add, teacher becomes more creative and multimodal in his own thinking and in his own learning. Lastly, the teacher's role in the classroom should become less directive and more facilitative. Role of the student. Students are active learners. They use their particular intelligences to gain knowledge or experiment with each until they find the appropriate ones for them. As for the use of mother tongue, it is not actually used, but it is not forbidden. Now, what are the materials to be used for this method? For linguistic intelligence, we have the crosswords, newspapers, internet, biographies, autobiographies, and books. For visual intelligence, we have artwork, photographs, posters, charts, illustrations, cartoons, props for plays, videos, murals, and sculptures. For body or kinesthetic intelligence, we have games, experiments, pantomiming, presentations, dances, and aerobics. Interpersonal intelligence, we have movies, team computer games, wraparounds, conversations, and conferences. Under mathematical intelligence, we have puzzles, timelines, analogies, patterns, formulas, abstract symbols, diagrams, mind maps, and computer games. Musical intelligence, we have the background music, raps, jingles, tone patterns, trios or quartet, choirs, and cheers. For intrapersonal intelligence, we have journals, readings, and self-evaluation. On the other hand, for environmental intelligence, we have elements found in nature, and for existential intelligence, we have journals and blogs.
Let's talk about the language learning techniques for this method. First, we have the linguistic intelligence, so we can have the speeches, the storytelling, or written reports. Under visual intelligence, we can have poster making, or the use of overhead projector or b-board. Under body or kinesthetic intelligence, we have role-playing and cooperative learning. Under interpersonal intelligence, we have cooperative tasks, class discussions, and multiplayer games. mathematical intelligence, we have problem solving and riddles. For musical intelligence, we have choral reading and lyric poems. For interpersonal, we have poetry writing, goal setting, concentration exercises, meditations, and silent reflection time. Under environmental intelligence, we have outdoor education, nature walk, stargazing, exploring nature, environmental studies, field trips, bird watching, ecology study, and identifying leaves and rocks. And for the existential intelligence, we can have journal writing, group discussion, and pondering the meaning of life. Evaluating the students under multiple intelligence method vary depending on the intelligence that is being worked. Students' feelings have a great importance. They receive a lot of encouragement to develop and use their particular intelligences. They feel confident because they learn the language on their own way.
This time, let's come to the advantages and disadvantages of this method. For the advantages, we have students are likely to become more engaged in learning as they use learning modes that match their intelligence strengths. Also, students' regular reflection on their learning broadens their definitions of effective and acceptable teaching and learning practices. Lastly, students' increased engagement and success in learning stimulates teachers to raise their expectations, initiating a powerful expectation response cycle that can lead to greater achievements level for all. How about the disadvantages? In multiple intelligences, they interfere with each other if the class isn't planned carefully and the activities are mixed up. Some students also might have trouble defining their strong intelligences. And sometimes, this method lacks support from parents and teachers as they consider mathematical and linguistic abilities worthier than any other ability.
To sum it up, multiple intelligence makes teaching and learning experiences sacred. It solves the purpose of education to educate the learners to become an expert in 21st century. It provides expertise, and expertise always gives self-reliance, self-confidence, which is the most required individual's quality to survive in this global village. Margaret Mead once quoted that if we educate to engage the whole gamut of human potentialities in the classroom, society will benefit by enabling each diverse human gift to find its fitting place. In fact, credit goes to Howard Gardner to maintain the status of individual entity sacred. That's all from our presentation. We hope that you learned something from us. Thank you, and once again, good afternoon.